And a good early afternoon to you, Roger Hill at Wuthering Heights, VELCO Weather Hazards Forecaster. This outlook here, we'll start with the bigger picture, and you can see that it's starting to warm up across parts of the Northeast. It's also seeing some higher dew point temperatures now, finally, that had vected into the region. So we got some heat and humidity here. The main weather system still up in Canada. This is a fairly potent shortwave trough that's going to be taking a track and kind of working its way eastward across Canada. We're going to be on the edge of this influence here as the stronger westerly winds aloft will blow on in. The shortwave trough, as you can see, producing some precipitation in the center of the country right now, working toward the Great Lakes. This will be arriving for us, it looks like, on Sunday during the last half of Sunday night into the morning hours on Monday, the timing of which will limit any kind of impacts for utilities, as we won't see the instability working in, of course, on Sunday night and lingering into Monday morning. And by the time we get into Monday afternoon, that frontal system will have moved on through and drier, stable air will already starting to be working on in. So we're mistimed on convection. Eastern parts of New England, not so much. And now we'll take a look at the modeling here. First, the jet stream level. On the left-hand side, we have the deterministic model of the European from last night. And on the right-hand side, we have the CMC ensemble, that's the Canadian. And so comparing notes, they're in very good agreement. So running the at jet stream level, this is that shortwave trough talked about. And this is going to dampen down the ridge of higher pressure, which is kind of still in place currently right now, this kind of ridge along this axis. This is our old upper level system that's pulling away. So consequently, this shortwave trough kind of riding along the U.S.-Canadian border through the Great Lakes will introduce cooler air into the region for basically, and some good project weather, by the way, for basically Tuesday into Wednesday. And you can see it kind of a very weak ridge once that shortwave trough kind of works on through. This is going to be also providing us with a little bit of a cool down after a very warm and warm to hot weekend, especially on Sunday. Beyond that, we have that cool down with 2 good project weather days, and then probably a build up with somewhere along about this little secondary trough here, somewhere around Wednesday night into Thursday. During the morning hours, we could see the potential for a few more showers and thunderstorms with this weak embedded system there. And very kind of west to east zonal flow will continue beyond the period going toward next weekend. But this will have some very colder air, so we'll see a big pattern here with a big time temperature gradient with very warm conditions to the south and chilly conditions to the north. This is the European model on the left-hand side, the Canadian gem on the right-hand side. They're in very good agreement. So as we run the model here, you can see generally dry weather we're looking at going into tonight, Saturday night, and then during the day on Sunday, dry weather, a little bit more of a gradient starting to take place, but well under thresholds, no real worries there. This is pumping in some of the hottest weather actually into the region, and higher dew point temperatures around 65 or so, and they kind of fall during the day on Sunday, and then kind of perk up again during Sunday night, just pulling ahead of this frontal boundary, which you can start to see on the Canadian over here and then the European here. So consequently, that moves on through, drags a cold front, and the timing of which is going to be during the nighttime hours on Sunday night and into Monday morning. That's going to have the least amount of convection. There's not going to be a lot of capes, so no real surface instability due to cloud cover. That weather system then pushes away and pulls away. And so we should start to see some partial sunshine work in on Monday afternoon. And that's going to set up this area of higher pressure working out of the Ohio River Valley, about 1022 hectopascals. And it's going to be pushing in that ridge and sinking motion in the atmosphere. A little bit of a convective feedback issue. It is being picked up just a little bit by the Canadian gem as well. I'm going to ignore it as any kind of sprinkles. I think there might be just some puffy cumulus clouds on Tuesday, but we're looking at good dry project weather, and that lingers into Wednesday. That area of higher pressure gets a little bit more reinforced. We have our next weather system that's just going to graze the northern areas for basically Wednesday night into Thursday morning, and that could pop a couple isolated showers or thunderstorms, nothing really major there. And then beyond the period, a little bit more settled with kind of the Bermuda high returning along about Friday. The next weather system will set up, and this looks like it could be a little bit more potent, and the timing of which will probably include some convective available potential energy, some instability out ahead of that on Saturday. Long ways out. This is next weekend, and we're talking a lot of, just speculation at this point in time. The other thing I want you to look at is both the Canadian, the GFS. They're all on top of what will be probably Bonnie, which will be taking a track like this. And you can see Bonnie looks like it's going to come into Nicaragua, Honduras, and then take a track and dump out into the Pacific Ocean. Timing of which is a little bit different. That's it's not going to be a problem for North America. I think the eastern seaboard at least. GFS ensemble with the grid point on Montpelier. This would be during the overnight period on Sunday night into Monday morning. And then that precipitation pretty much targeted there. There's that little flare-up of precipitation. I think this is actually going to be dry. Then a secondary little bit of flare-up of precipitation. That's going to happen on Wednesday night, Thursday morning. And then beyond that, this coming weekend. But total QPF, really not a big deal at this point. We step it up to about a little bit closer to about a ½ inch, a little bit of a jog upward there. And then this system here, the next one over the weekend, will start to bring it up. And we're talking generally under 1.0 precipitation totals. For precipitable water, it really does jump up on Sunday night, Monday morning. And then we have that drying out, considerable drying out, a little bit of an uptick. And then we see this is very good matchup with the European right now, and this is our weekend issues for next weekend in July. All that said and done, surface capes are pretty low, nothing to worry about here. Putting shear over the cape, there is a giant spike right here, about 50 knots. But that is not going to coincide with the cold front that's working on through, so that's good news there. You saw the shear. Well, this is 850 hectopascal winds, about the top of Mount Mansfield. You can see the winds are under 40 knots. And a quick look at the QPF, the 1 through 7 day total amount of rainfall. This is 1 inch amounts here, so our maximus right through here, and then we have about a ½ inch in eastern parts of New England, and so on and so forth. Heading to temperature, we're above normal. This is the Saturday morning look. And you can see that it's a little cooler than normal, slightly cooler anomalies in parts of the Northern Rockies and portions of Canada. Not a big deal, nothing to really see here. This is the weighted period for the next 5 days of high temperatures, the outlook. And 3 to 7 days later, we're seeing that a little bit warmer. And looking at the 5-day tropical graphic here, and we have about a 60% chance. This is the easterly wave coming in off the African coast, very early in the season, taking a very low latitude track. And we have one potential disturbance here, about 20% chance of a tropical cyclone in the next 5 days, something to watch here. And this is our easterly wave again. Looking at the European ensembles, you can see that this is a real tight track, very well modeled. A lot of the models are in total agreement with this system. This will be named Bonnie. Roger Hill, Wuthering Heights. Thanks for watching.